to me, titles are really important. All right. And they're not, obviously they're important because they are the, it's the name of your film. And that's how people are going to know your film, by the title. Um, but I think it's also really important to have a title, even if it's only a working title, while you're working on the film. Okay. Because it's true that, particularly in documentary, as you work your way through the material and you find your story, you that can change. You might understand something about your film later on that you don't know now. Or let me put it more succinctly, you might understand something about your film later that you didn't realize when you started. Okay, and that can easily affect the title. All right. So I don't think it's a bad idea, instead of going around with something untitled or nebulous or no title, think about a title that makes sense to you now for where you are in relation to your film, whatever it is. Even if you know it's not The Keeper, or I mean, maybe it will be, but give it the best name. And by the way, you give a name to something, it gives you a power over it. It helps you own it, right? So give give yourself a working title and let that be your North Star. And you know something? At a certain point, when your film gets a more complex personality and takes on a different form, and you realize that the title that you put in place as it comes on the screen doesn't work anymore, well, guess what? You've just learned something really important. So if the title doesn't work, your working title doesn't work. So now you have reason to want to change it. All right, and now you're responding to something that doesn't work. So that makes it easier to find something that will. All right. So I would suggest that you all have working titles for your project, even if you're not sure. But don't go around working on something that you don't have a provisional title for. Titles exist in the way I like to think about it. Titles exist in 3 time zones. The first is when someone hears about your film before they see it. They hear the title of your film before they see it. That creates a series of expectations. It creates the possibility for projection. What could a film with that name be like? What is a film with that name going to be like? Gee, that's really interesting. I like that title. Or I don't know what that title means. It opens up various levels of curiosity, right? Okay, now that's the first time zone. Then there's the second time zone, in which someone is watching your film, and if for any reason they get confused or they lose their bearings or they space out and need a little handle to get back into it, what do they have? They have your title, right? So a title is like railing. It's like a handle. At any point during your film, it's something to hold on to if needed. Sometimes it's never needed, but if needed, it's something to hold on to. It's grounding. Oh yeah, this title is about that, and then, and it's helpful. It's helpful. Third time zone, after your film is finished, after the film is over. Okay, viewers now go through a kind of retrospection of some kind. They think about what they just saw. They think about the ironies. They think about the themes, the revelations, the message. They think they tie it all together somehow. But guess what? They also have your title, the name, which now they can compare to and overlay with the film they just saw. That title might make them think about the film in a way they hadn't before, right? The film might make them think about the title in a way, now that it's over, might make them think about the title in a way they never had before. All right? So titles function in all these different sorts of ways, both before, during, and after your film. And so I can't say enough how important getting a good title is for your film. You know, it's hard to ever know if it's the right title, but getting something that you're comfortable with. But also, I think during the process of working, that a title gives you something to aspire to become familiar with, and it helps you kind of frame your subject in a way that's, I think, during the editorial process can be very, very helpful, even if it changes. Okay? Because one day when your film comes together and you create that title sequence, and there's a title sequence, and you watch your film, and somehow the whole film fits around your title, you know, it's a very sad, that's extremely satisfying experience.